Everything was going exactly to script, until it wasn't. One question, one clip, and suddenly a Labour MP had nowhere to hide on live TV. What happened next left viewers stunned and social media on fire. Welcome to Power and Policy UK, the channel cutting through political spin to bring you the moments Westminster doesn't want ignored. The moment started like any other routine political interview, calm, controlled, and carefully choreographed. A Labour MP sat confidently in the studio, ready to deliver familiar talking points to a national audience. But within minutes, that confidence began to crack as a line of questioning took a sharp and unexpected turn. What followed was an uncomfortable exchange that has since gone viral, with many viewers saying it exposed how misleading political messaging can fall apart when confronted with facts in real time. The MP had been invited on to discuss Labour's stance on a key public issue, one that has dominated headlines and sparked intense debate across the country. At first, the answers sounded polished and rehearsed, filled with broad claims about responsibility, fairness, and the government's failures. But the interviewer wasn't content to let generalities slide. Instead, they zeroed in on a specific claim the MP had made repeatedly in recent interviews, a claim that critics say paints a distorted picture of reality. When asked to clarify the statement, the MP doubled down, insisting that the public had been clearly informed and that their position was backed by the facts. That's when the interviewer calmly but firmly introduced contradictory information, quoting official figures and previous statements made by the MP themselves. The shift in atmosphere was immediate. What had been a smooth political performance turned into a tense back and forth that left little room for evasive answers. As the evidence was laid out, the MP appeared visibly unsettled. They paused longer between sentences, stumbled over wording, and attempted to redirect the conversation away from the core issue. But each attempt was met with another pointed question. Viewers watching at home could sense the discomfort, the kind that comes when a narrative carefully built for public consumption begins to unravel under scrutiny. One particularly awkward moment came when the interviewer played a short clip from a previous appearance, showing the MP making a claim that directly contradicted what they were now saying live on air. Faced with their own words, the MP tried to argue that they had been misinterpreted, insisting that context had been removed, but the clip was brief, clear, and difficult to explain away. Social media quickly lit up as the exchange unfolded. Clips were shared across platforms, with many users praising the interviewer for holding a politician accountable rather than allowing vague rhetoric to pass unchallenged. Others expressed frustration, saying the moment confirmed their belief that the public is too often misled by carefully chosen language that doesn't hold up to detailed examination. What made this confrontation resonate wasn't just the tension in the studio, but what it symbolized. For many viewers, it highlighted a growing gap between political messaging and lived reality. The MP's insistence that the public had been fully informed clashed sharply with data suggesting otherwise. And when pressed to reconcile those differences, the answers became increasingly circular. At one point, the MP attempted to shift blame entirely onto the current government, a familiar tactic in opposition politics. But the interviewer pushed back again, pointing out that the original claim wasn't about government failure, but about what Labour had told the public. That distinction proved crucial, and it left the MP with fewer places to hide. The exchange ended without a clear resolution. The MP maintained that their intentions were honest, while the interviewer concluded by reminding viewers to examine the facts for themselves. But by then, the damage had arguably been done. The image of a politician squirming under live questioning had already made its impact. Political analysts later weighed in, noting that moments like these can have a lasting effect, not because they change policy overnight, but because they shape public trust. When voters see a politician struggle to defend their own statements, it reinforces skepticism about political communication as a whole. Trust, once eroded, is difficult to rebuild. Supporters of the MP argued that the interview was unfairly aggressive, accusing the broadcaster of trying to score a viral moment rather than foster genuine discussion. They claimed the issue was more complex than could be addressed in a short segment and warned against drawing sweeping conclusions from a heated exchange. Critics, however, countered that if claims are made publicly, they should withstand public scrutiny, especially on live television. This incident also raises a broader question about the role of media in political discourse. Should interviews challenge politicians more aggressively, or does that risk turning serious issues into spectacle? For many viewers, this confrontation struck the right balance, firm but factual, confrontational without descending into chaos. As the clip continues to circulate, it serves as a reminder that in the age of instant replay and social media amplification, every word matters. Politicians can no longer rely solely on sound bites and slogans. When confronted with evidence, consistency and transparency become essential, and any gap between message and reality is quickly exposed. Whether this moment will have lasting political consequences remains to be seen, but for now, it stands as one of those rare instances where live television peeled back the layers of political spin, if only briefly, and allowed the audience to see the pressure points beneath. And judging by the reaction online, it's a moment many viewers won't soon forget. You're watching Power and Policy UK, where power is questioned, policy is challenged, and the public stays informed.